Hi, this is Steve. I watched a recent Cambridge Union debate on the right to offend. Professor Kathleen Stock spoke on this subject. She was hounded out of her university post by cowardly, bully students, supported by some of her own equally cowardly colleagues, for stating facts about sex and gender. And more recently, there was an attempt to prevent her speaking at Oxford University by a militant group of aggressive students on the same grounds. The link to her speech is in the description. Professor Stock says that it's not a question of the right to offend, it's the right to say what you think and not be coerced into silence by cowards and bullies, for that is what they are, who simply don't like your views. I agree. Suicide used to be a crime. Why is it not so now? Because we recognise that, dreadful though most of us think taking your own life is, and that we should all do our utmost to help and support someone away from suicidal thinking, you have the right to kill yourself if you wish. It is, after all, your life, not anyone else's. Thus, no crime is committed. Your life belongs to you. It does not belong to society at large. Now, I know there are religious issues around suicide, but as in the UK at least that affects a minority of people these days, I'll pass that one by. Suicide is, in my opinion rightly, not a legal crime. The point is that doing or saying things others don't like is neither a crime, nor is it immoral. So, neither moral nor illegal, just because other people don't like it. After all, someone is going to be offended by whatever we say on any matter of any importance. By the way, I'm not a free speech absolutist, but I'm close. I think if someone directly calls for, urges, condones, or praises physical violence against other people, that should not be allowed. But that's it. Professor Stock also says that taking offence is an emotional response. Now, here I'm not sure that's true, or at least it is vastly overplayed as the excuse for saying you're offended. As an aside, many now don't claim mere offence, but claim fear of or actual harm from ideas and views they don't like. Ridiculous, I know, pathetic, I know, and very, very performative. But it happens. I'll stay on topic by not going down that rabbit hole, but simply say how weak and contemptible that ploy is. And it is a tactical, performative ploy to elicit support for an otherwise weak and usually unsupportable position. Anyway, taking offence is often not a truly emotional response. Emotional meaning that it is not calculated, it's autonomic. You have no control over it. Even when that appears the case, certainly in socio-political scenarios, the seemingly emotional response is one that has been decided upon at some point in the past and pronounced by yourself as correct, and is therefore trotted out in the future on cue, so to speak, i.e., you're performing at the end of the day. Also, and some don't like me saying this, we choose to be offended. Nothing is de facto unavoidably and unarguably offensive. As I say, some will aver from that claim, but if it's not true, if some things are undeniably and uncontrollably offensive, then there would be no premeditated murder, no sexual molesting of children, no torturing of prisoners, no complicity by the Auschwitz or Gulag prison guards, no raping, no murder and looting by victorious soldiers, etc., etc. No, there are many things that are highly distasteful, many acts that we would all openly acknowledge are wrong, evil even, but that have been performed by ordinary people, not evil supervillains, throughout the millennia. In certain circumstances, we are all capable of the most appalling acts. We can't all be like Socrates and accept an unjust death rather than take the easy way out and live. That takes bravery few of us have. Would you murder someone if it was necessary to save the life of your child? Probably, almost certainly. Would you be complicit, like the Auschwitz camp guards, in mass murder if you believe that you and your family would be executed if you refused? Probably, almost certainly, etc., etc. So no, in the vast majority of social contexts, the taking of offence is a choice we make, and often it's a performance, one that far too often is used as a ploy to gain sympathy, avoid or reduce criticism, or make someone else look bad in the eyes of others as a form of shutting them up, or at least tarnishing their reputation so that their views are ignored. All those motivations are cowardly and manipulative. So of course we have the right to offend because we have the right to express our views openly. And we'd probably have a less fractious society if we were all a little less thin-skinned and a bit more self-aware. Thanks for listening.